People think betrayal comes from enemies. They're wrong. The deepest betrayals come from the people you love most. If someone had told me 2 years ago that my own family would call me selfish after I lost nearly everything I worked for, I would have laughed in disbelief. But life has a strange way of revealing who people truly are. Not when times are easy, but when money, loyalty, and family collide. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 32 years old. And this is the story of how losing my savings ended up saving my life. Growing up, my parents had a saying they repeated constantly. Family always comes first. At first, those words sounded beautiful. As a child, I believed them with all my heart. But as I got older, I began to realize something painful. In our family, family comes first didn't apply equally. It meant my older sister came first. Her happiness, her needs, her mistakes, and me, I was the responsible one. The understanding one. The one expected to sacrifice. Always. My sister Jessica was 3 years older than me. She was outgoing, charming, and beautiful. The kind of person who walked into a room and instantly became the center of attention. I loved her. I truly did. When we were children, she'd hold my hand while crossing the street. She taught me how to ride a bike. She even stayed awake all night when I had nightmares. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Or maybe they had always been that way, and I was simply too young to notice. Whenever Jessica made mistakes, my parents rushed to protect her. When she crashed Dad's car at 18, they bought her another. When she dropped out of college, they blamed the school. When she spent money recklessly, they said she was still finding herself. Meanwhile, I learned early that responsibility was expected from me. No excuses. No second chances. At 16, I got my first job at a local grocery store. At 18, I earned a scholarship. At 23, I graduated nursing school with almost no debt. While my friends traveled and enjoyed their 20s, I worked double shifts. Weekends, holidays, overnights. Every paycheck had a purpose. A dream. A house. Not a mansion. Just a small home with a garden. Somewhere peaceful. A place I could finally call mine. 8 years. That's how long I saved. 8 years of sacrifice. Skipped vacations. Old cars. Cheap apartments. Extra shifts when my feet ached so badly I could barely stand. By the time I turned 32, I had saved $87,000. $87,000. I still remember staring at the number on my phone screen one quiet evening. Tears filled my eyes. I had done it. After years of hard work, my dream was finally within reach. I even started looking at houses online. White fences. Small backyards. Sunlit kitchens. For the first time in years, I allowed myself to imagine a future beyond work. I should have known happiness never lasts long. A week later, my mother called. "Emily, sweetheart, are you busy Saturday?" I smiled. "Not really." "Why?" "Your father and I are going to visit your aunt for a few days. Could you stop by the house and manage some bills online? Your father still struggles with internet banking." I laughed softly. Dad and technology had never been friends. "Of course. You're such a blessing," Mom said warmly. Words I'd heard my entire life. A blessing. Reliable. Responsible. Helpful. Funny how those words often become chains. Saturday afternoon, I drove to my parents' house. Everything seemed normal. Mom hugged me. Dad asked about work. Jessica and her husband Ryan were already there. Ryan. Even now, saying his name leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. When Jessica married Ryan 6 years earlier, everyone adored him instantly. He was charismatic, funny, confident, the type of man who could charm strangers within minutes. My parents loved him like a son. Honestly, I tried to like him too. For Jessica's sake. But something always felt off. Little things. Small lies. Broken promises. Stories that never quite added up. Ryan always had a new business idea. A new investment. A new opportunity. Yet somehow, he was always struggling financially. He borrowed money often. Not huge amounts. Just enough to seem harmless. $500 here. 1,000 there. Always with promises to repay. Sometimes he did. Often he didn't. Whenever I voiced concern, my family dismissed it. Don't judge him so harshly, Mom would say. He's trying his best, Dad insisted. Jessica always defended him. You don't understand pressure because you're single. That sentence hurt more than I ever admitted. As if being unmarried made my struggles less real. As if my dreams mattered less. That Saturday, while helping Dad with bills, Ryan wandered into the living room. Still saving for that dream house? He asked casually. I smiled politely. Almost there. He whistled. Must be nice having that much money saved. Something about the way he said it made me uncomfortable. Like he wasn't admiring it. Like he was measuring it. I brushed off the feeling. People notice money. That didn't mean anything, right? Later that afternoon, I stepped into the kitchen to help Mom prepare dinner. My laptop remained open on the dining table. Logged into several accounts. Including online banking. A mistake. One tiny mistake. The kind people make every day. The kind they never expect to destroy their lives. At dinner, Ryan seemed unusually interested in finances. Mortgage rates. Savings accounts. Investments. He asked question after question. Dad answered happily. I noticed Ryan glancing at my laptop once or twice. But I ignored it. Because he was family. Family. That word again. By evening, I drove home feeling content. I had no idea that my life had already begun changing. 2 weeks passed. Work was exhausting. The hospital had been short-staffed, and I picked up extra shifts. One morning during lunch break, I sat in the staff room and opened my banking app. I was browsing homes online again. Just dreaming. Just planning. Then I saw the balance. $432. I blinked. No, that couldn't be right. I refreshed the app. Again. $432. My heart stopped. My breathing became shallow. Hands trembling, I opened the transaction history. And that's when my world shattered. Transfer. 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 Nearly every dollar. Gone. I stared at the screen as if it might magically change. It didn't. The money I spent 8 years earning had vanished. And I had absolutely no idea that the worst betrayal was yet to come. I couldn't breathe. The staff room around me suddenly felt too small. The voices of my coworkers became distant, as if I were underwater. My eyes stayed fixed on the screen. $432. That number burned into my mind. Just yesterday, I had been looking at houses online. Imagining paint colors. garden flowers, a reading corner by the window. Now all of it felt like smoke slipping through my fingers. Gone. Every extra shift, every sleepless night, every sacrifice. Gone. Emily, are you okay? I looked up. It was my coworker, Sarah. Her smile vanished the moment she saw my face. Emily, you're pale. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. My hands shook so badly that my phone nearly slipped from my grip. I think someone stole my money. Her eyes widened. What? Before I knew it, tears were rolling down my cheeks. I wasn't someone who cried easily. Nurses learn to stay strong. We see pain every day. Loss, fear, grief. But this was different. This wasn't just money. This was 8 years of my life. Sarah immediately took me to an empty office. Call the bank, she said gently. My fingers trembled as I dialed customer service. After several minutes of verification, the representative finally spoke. Ms. Carter, I see multiple transfers made over the last 12 days. 12 days, I whispered. My chest tightened. 12 days. Someone had been stealing from me for nearly 2 weeks without my knowledge. These transfers were processed using your saved credentials. Saved credentials. The words hit me like ice water. That meant whoever had done this had access to my account information. Someone who knew me. Someone close. My stomach twisted. Can you tell me where the money went? I asked. There was a brief pause. I'm afraid we can only disclose limited information during an active fraud investigation. Please, please don't let this be real. Then she spoke again. However, I can confirm that the receiving account belongs to an individual named Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews. My brother-in-law. For a moment, time stopped. The world went silent. No, 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 not Ryan. Anyone but Ryan. I stared blankly ahead while Sarah watched with concern. Emily, what happened? I swallowed hard. My voice barely came out. It was my brother-in-law. Even saying the words felt unreal. Sarah's jaw dropped. What? I stood up so quickly that my chair scraped loudly against the floor. I need to go. I don't remember driving. Honestly, I shouldn't have. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My mind replayed every conversation I'd ever had with Ryan. Every borrowed dollar. Every suspicious business scheme. Every strange look. Every question about my savings. And then, my laptop. The day at my parents' house. The unlocked screen. The online accounts. My heart sank. Oh my God. He had used my trust against me. By the time I reached Jessica's house, anger had replaced shock. I marched to the front door and knocked hard. 1 knock. 2 knocks. 3. The door opened. Ryan stood there wearing sweatpants and holding a cup of coffee. Like it was just another ordinary day. His smile disappeared the moment he saw my face. Emily, I didn't waste time. Where's my money? His expression changed instantly. Not confusion. Not surprise. Guilt. Pure guilt. And in that moment, I knew. He had done it. He knew exactly what I was talking about. He slowly sighed, as though I were inconveniencing him. That hurt more than I expected. Not fear. Not shame. Annoyance. Emily, calm down. Calm down. My entire future had just been stolen. And he wanted me to calm down. You emptied my savings account. His jaw tightened. I was going to pay it back. Pay it back. The words echoed inside my head. Like a cruel joke. I stared at him in disbelief. You stole $86,000. At that moment, Jessica walked into the hallway. She looked between us. And what happened next shattered my heart in ways I still struggle to describe. She wasn't surprised. She wasn't confused. She already knew. Jessica, I whispered. Her face remained calm. Too calm. She crossed her arms. Emily, lower your voice. The kids are sleeping. The kids are sleeping. Was that really her concern right now? My voice trembled. You knew. She looked away briefly. And in that silence, I got my answer. She knew. She had known all along. Tears filled my eyes. Tell me this isn't true. She sighed. Not sadly. Not regretfully. Annoyed. Like I was creating unnecessary drama. Ryan was under pressure. Pressure. My entire body went numb. She continued speaking. The business failed. We had debts. We needed help. Needed help. Help. This wasn't help. This was theft. This was betrayal. You stole my house savings. Ryan stepped forward. We intended to return it. Intended. Not planned. Not guaranteed. Intended. As though my life savings were some temporary loan. I looked at my sister. Waiting. Hoping. Praying. For her to say she was sorry. For her to tell me she would fix this. Instead, she said words that would haunt me forever. You're single, Emily. I froze. She continued. You don't have children. Every word struck like a knife. We needed the money more. I couldn't breathe. Needed it more. As if my dreams mattered less. As if years of sacrifice were worth nothing. As if my future belonged to them. My chest hurt so badly I thought I might collapse. I looked at my sister. The girl who once held my hand while crossing the street. The girl who used to protect me from bullies. Where had she gone? Or had I never truly known her at all? I turned to Ryan. Return every dollar. He looked away. That was answer enough. The money was gone. Gone. I left without another word. Because if I had stayed, I might have broken completely. That evening, I sat alone in my apartment. The silence was unbearable. Every room suddenly felt empty. I opened my laptop and stared at house listings one last time. Then I closed them all. Because those dreams no longer belonged to me. Around midnight, I called my parents. Surely they would support me. Surely they would understand. After all, who defends a thief? Right. I had no idea that the hardest betrayal of all was still waiting for me. That night, I didn't sleep. How could I? Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the same number. $432. The remains of 8 years. 8 years of sacrifice reduced to a few $100s. Around midnight, I sat alone in my dark apartment, staring at my phone. I had delayed the call long enough. My parents needed to know. Or perhaps, I needed them to prove that I still had a family. With trembling hands, I dialed my mother's number. She answered on the second ring. Emily, honey, it's late. Is everything okay? The concern in her voice almost made me cry. Almost. Mom, my voice cracked. Ryan stole my savings. Silence. A long silence. Too long. Then she sighed. Not with shock. Not with anger. With exhaustion. The kind of sigh someone makes when they're already aware of a problem. My heart sank. Mom, she spoke carefully. Jessica told us. My world stopped. Jessica told them. They already knew. And no one called me. No one warned me. No one apologized. No one chose me. My father took the phone. Emily, listen calmly. Calmly. That word again. People always tell victims to stay calm. Never the people who hurt them. Dad, I whispered, barely holding myself together. He stole $86,000 from me. There was a pause. Then he said words I would never forget. Money comes and goes. I froze. But family stays. The room felt colder. Family stays. Funny. Because in that moment, mine had already left me. I laughed bitterly. Not because anything was funny. Because sometimes pain becomes too heavy for tears. Dad, that's my future. We understand you're upset, he said, but filing a report would destroy Jessica's family. Destroy her family? What about my life? My dream? My future? Did those not matter? I swallowed the lump in my throat. So you want me to do nothing? Mom spoke softly. Ryan made a mistake. A mistake. People accidentally break dishes. People forget birthdays. People don't accidentally steal $86,000. This wasn't a mistake, I whispered. It was a crime. The line went quiet, and then my mother said the sentence that shattered what remained of my heart. Emily, don't be selfish. Selfish. After 8 years of sacrifice. After helping everyone. After always putting family first. I was selfish. I ended the call. Not because I had nothing left to say. But because I finally understood. They had chosen. And it wasn't me. The next morning, my phone exploded. Missed calls, texts, voicemails. Family members I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly had opinions. My aunt texted, "Family matters should stay private." My cousin wrote, "You know how hard it is raising children." Another relative sent, "Money isn't worth losing family over." Money. Everyone kept saying money. As if $86,000 had fallen from the sky. As if those years of sacrifice meant nothing. I muted my phone. Then I cried. Not because of the money. Not entirely. I cried because I finally realized something painful. I had spent my entire life earning love that should have been given freely. That afternoon, my sister called. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Emily," she began, sounding irritated rather than apologetic, "Mom says you're considering involving the police." Considering. I had spent the entire night debating it. Because despite everything, they were still family. I wanted to believe there was another way. Return my money. Simple. Direct. Fair. Jessica hesitated. Then came the answer I already feared. "We don't have it." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" More silence. The kind that tells the truth before words do. Then Ryan's voice appeared in the background. "It's tied up in investments." Investments. Of course. The magical word he always used. The same word that somehow turned missing money into temporary inconvenience. "How much is left?" I asked quietly. No answer. My breathing quickened. "Jessica." Her voice broke. "Almost none." The world blurred. Gone. It was all gone. 8 years. Gone. I don't remember ending the call. I only remember staring blankly at my apartment wall for hours. By evening, anger replaced grief. For years, I had sacrificed for everyone. Covered bills. Helped parents. Babysat nieces. Loaned money I never asked back. And now, when I needed help, they called me selfish. No more. At 8:43 p.m. that night, I walked into the local police station. The fluorescent lights felt harsh, cold, unforgiving, much like reality. An officer greeted me politely. "How can I help you?" I looked down at the folder in my hands. Bank records, transfer details, screenshots, evidence. Then I said the words that changed everything. "I'd like to report financial theft." As I spoke, tears streamed silently down my face. Not because I wanted revenge. Because I never imagined I'd be here. Reporting family. The officer listened carefully, asked questions, took statements, and finally said, "You did the right thing." Those words nearly broke me. Because for the first time since this nightmare began, someone was on my side. The investigation started immediately. The bank froze several accounts. Subpoenas were issued. Financial records were requested. Within days, my family found out. The reaction was explosive. My mother called screaming, "How could you do this?" My father accused me of ruining lives. Jessica sent a text I still have saved. "You're dead to me. Dead to me. For asking for my own money back." The irony would have been funny if it weren't tragic. The family group chat became a battlefield. Relatives attacked me. Some called me greedy. Others called me cruel. One even said, "Your sister has children. Think about them." As if children magically erased crimes. Eventually, I left the group. And for the first time in my life, I stopped apologizing for protecting myself. Days turned into weeks. The investigation continued. Then one rainy Thursday afternoon, I received a phone call from Detective Harris. His voice sounded different, serious. "Ms. Carter, we've uncovered something important." My stomach tightened. "What is it?" There was a pause. Then he said words that changed everything. "You're not the only victim." I froze. Victim. Plural. Your brother-in-law has been taking money from multiple people. The room spun. Multiple people. How many? The detective took a breath. More than we initially believed. And what he revealed next would destroy my family forever.